How we all doing? This is the kit list, guys. I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to kit. I'll just pump this up just a little bit. I'm just aware that I'm trying to kind of capture the bits and the bobs. So I've got a lot of stuff down here, but I'm going to try and do it kind of off the deck so you can see it. Charlie, Brian, how yous doing? So I'm just up in the lovely hills. I was talking to the farmer there, we were having good crack. He was wondering what I was up to borrowing this little bit of land of his, but he very quickly realised I wasn't a fly tipper or a scumbag, so we had a good bit of banter about modern man and about people that don't know what they're eating and stuff like that. We're talking about supermarkets. We had a good rant. He was a man after my own heart. Anyway, people have been asking about kit, and they've been asking about kit basics. And basically, if you're going out for one day, okay, and you're in a relatively safe area, well, your kit's going to be moderate, because the last thing you really want to be doing is carrying a big pack with stuff that would last you for days and days. It's pointless, and a lot of the kit wouldn't be relevant to a one-day trip. But what I will say is this: see if you can carry the kit, get used to carrying it and get used to building your strength up, because when you put a pack here and here and the pack pulls back the way, i.e. it pulls you out of line, that takes quite a bit of getting used to. So if you can get used to carrying excessive weight, then it won't do you any harm to put the weight on and get used to actually having the weight on your back and going out and doing a few miles with it. It's actually beneficial, because if you do end up doing a fairly demanding insertion, like 4 or 5 kilometres with kit, and you're not used to it, it won't be an enjoyable experience. So always think about fitness, always make it a consideration. Yeah, if you can carry a little bit of extra weight and build yourself up to being used to having a load on your back and being used to load carrying, then it's only ever going to be beneficial to you long term. So I will say that. But for starters, guys, basically you get 3 kind of different sized packs, right? Now, not everybody's going to need this. This is for people that are asking, and particularly those that want to transition from little one-day climbs or you know, moderate climbs to more advanced stuff. So this is a small lightweight day sack. It's an Exped Cloudburst 25. It's a roll top sack, right? Now it's got a singular access, and if you look in there, it's just got a singular access, and it's almost like a strapped canoe sack. A canoe sack is a internal waterproof liner that would go inside your main backpack, and this little thing rolls up and you clip it closed, and that's it. And it's got an exterior lashing for your jacket or your roll mat or something like that, your little comfy bum seat. It's got little straps, it's got a little grab handle. It doesn't weigh anything, it's super light and it's super waterproof. And see, for a day, that's all you need. It's got a little chest strap for bearing the brunt and taking the weight, and it's actually got a little waistband as well, like so. Now, I wouldn't know I was wearing that because it weighs absolutely nothing, but essentially I use this regularly for little, you know, 3-4 hour jaunts. If I want to go and look at a route, if I want to get up somewhere, it's perfect for that. So as I say, that little chest strap's flexible. It's important because it disperses the load evenly. Now, load can be defined, if it's back the way, it's going to pull you out of line. So pull it forward, okay? Pull the load up and over your shoulders and tighten down in these straps here. That's what they're for. Pull the load over so that it's upright. And in a little bag with this limited amount of weight, you don't need like hip harassment. It doesn't need to be on your hips. The load is bared across the chest and shoulders. That's it. There's nothing there. It's not going to cause you any grief, right? And that's a really simple day sack. It's a great little day sack. I think the brand is actually Exped, and it's the Cloudburst 25, so you can see it. It's a great little pack. It was dirt cheap. It's tougher at the bottom and then it thins out. It's really, really well constructed, and I've had it for a good few years, and believe me, I've used it excessively. It's a brilliant little pack. Now when you're talking about going out for, you know, a half day, or you're up in the Trossachs and you want to do one of the kind of smaller, more accessible climbs where you're parked in the car park and you've got to go up and down, you don't have to carry days and days worth of kit, right? So things like, you know, in the winter, a little head warmer and a neck warmer. There's one there. Compliments of Jim Smith. Brilliant little bit of kit. Keep your head really warm. Doesn't weigh anything. That can go into all 3 packs. An overnighter or a week long. That can be taken all the time in the colder months. I would say that's a necessity. So that's one item that's a necessity. A warm jacket for when you get to the top of your climb. Again, this should be in all 3 packs. A little warm kit, right? Little warm jacket. You've got your warm hood. The core, the neck and the head is warm. The rest of the body will follow. Okay? So that's a good bit of kit. That's a warm jacket. An outer waterproof, right? There's a waterproof jacket. Again, this is a thin, you know, probably it's a gallop, I don't know, 30 quid, something like that. They're dirt cheap to buy. Brilliant little bit of kit. Waterproof. It is not Gore-Tex, and the price point shows you that. It's for moderate showers. It will keep you dry for a few hours, and it will get you back to your car. You may be a bit damp, you might sweat a little bit with it. It's probably non-breathable, but it does what it says in the tin. It will keep the worst of it off you for a short period of time, and that's what it's designed to do. There's 3 items that can go in the day sack. The middle sized pack, you know, kind of 30-40 litre pack, or it can go in the big 60-70 litre pack. So those 3 items are items for all 3 levels. Half a day, an overnighter or a week. In the colder months, don't go out without them. End of story. Half a toilet roll, right? Dead simple, waterproof. It's stick it in a little bag. It goes everywhere with you. And some food. Now, I'm only showing you items here. A can of Coke and a pepperami, right? That's just so that it's something to put in my hand. So you'd have a couple of items of food in there, right? What you would also probably take is, without a doubt, you would take a warm hat. Again, all 3 times. A map of your area, Glencoe, one of my favourite places. A whistle, 3 or 4 quid. This is a Life Systems whistle. At any one time I've got half a dozen of them. I'll give them to people if they're stuck. A lighter or waterproof matches, have it there. Even if you think, I'm only going out for half a day, I won't need it. You don't know that. Injury, your half a day could turn into an overnighter. You might not get found, or you might not get back to 3 or 4 in the morning. You might need some heat. Get used to carrying it and it becomes normal. And something like a flapjack, farm foods do these. They're bigger than the ones you get in the garages, right? They're peanuts to buy. Peanuts, excuse the pun. And you know, they're really good. They're really good for energy. They're really good to just fill you up, and they're just something handy to have. And I go in and I buy 20 of them at a time because I use them all the time in the house, and I give them to people that look like they're struggling. Get used to carrying it. Those items I've showed you guys go into all 3 packs. From your small day sack, going out a walk for 4 hours, to your overnight pack, to your week-long pack. Standard items across the board. Fluids, and a little stove to heat it. Now you don't need a little stove on a little day venture, you don't, right? But if you can get a little stove that size, get used to carrying it. What's the harm? What's the harm carrying it? Now I'll quickly just show you a map here. This is a waterproof map. It's one of the Harveys and they're waterproof material. They're brilliant little maps, they're tiny, so you're not using a big giant huge map. It's just they're great little quality maps. I absolutely love them, but you actually need to know how to interpret them and interpret the detail of them. And see if you learn that skill, that little thing in your chest pocket, that can save your life. Even without a compass, you can look at that map and you can say, right, I recognise that we're in this hillside. There's a river here that leads to a path that leads to a road. We're home safe. Something as simple as that can save your life, guys. Don't leave home without one. What I will show you is not a compass, but it is a button compass. It's not an orienteering, right? It's the size of a thumbnail and they're a couple of pound and it's plastic. And what it will show you is it will show you magnetic north. So if you know that you have to travel south, you can say, right, let's just go that way. You know, give or take, that's south, let's go. You know that this, you know where the sun rises and you know where the sun sets, so you can get home with that. See a little thing like that, just in a pocket of a jacket, that can save your life as well. You might laugh. And last but not least, for the everyday day sack is an eating implement, because if you've got a ration bag or a pot noodle or a tin of beans or something, even if you're eating it cold, a tin of creamed rice a lot of people take, burst it open with a penknife, which I don't advise. Right, you can get little tin openers. I can use a knife, but I'm used to doing it. Don't cut yourself when you're out. You need something to eat, so always have an eating implement. That's titanium, it weighs nothing, they're about £7 and they're brilliant. You get them on Amazon. Okie doke. So this is the medium size pack and it's a Decathlon Quassia, right? It's a brilliant, it's for my height, it's got a little diagram there. It's got great side bits, it's got a couple of side pockets, it's got great adjustment, it's got side straps, it's got a rear lashing where the stove is. And what can I say about it, right? It's got a top pouch, it's got everything I need and more, right? Now, I'm going to talk about little snippets of admin as well, guys. Administration, self-administration. So, when you put a pack on, when you start carrying a bit of weight, okay? Adjust that pack so that the load is on your side, right? First of all, let the weight settle, wiggle your back, let it settle in your hips and adjust the belt. Then adjust these straps here so that there's literally no movement of the back piece, right? Then pull the chest across and tighten it up. Don't choke yourself, but make sure the straps are doing what the straps are meant to do, which is align themselves. No movement, right? And you see up here, you can tighten these up, you see them? See them? You pull them over, okay? So that that load rides close to your head to keep your centre of gravity. And if you're climbing up and you reach and that pack's lying away out here, for instance, like that, it could pull you off the mountain face. Then you've got problems. So always set the pack with limited movement. You won't get hot spots, you won't get rub marks, you won't get webbing burns, what we call them. You won't get burn areas of skin, chafed skin. You don't want that. It will ruin your trip. So a good fitting pack should not move. Doesn't matter what I do, that pack's going nowhere. Now that's an entry level pack. I think it was 40 or 50 quid. That pack will last me years. It's a great pack and the Decathlon products are brilliant. For the money you can't beat them, guys. And if you're only going out once or twice a year, you don't need a £300 North Face pack, you just don't. So there you go, dead simple bit of kit. All easily adjustable. Always try multiple packs on before you buy them. And again, the kit that goes in the single day kit goes in the middle kit, which is the overnight bag or the long day Monroe bagging, you know. That's a little comfy bum for about £5 on Amazon. You sit on it on the wet ground. It's a great little bit of kit. Goes in your side pocket and you tighten it in there, you know. There's a strap that rides over it and locks it in. It's the first thing out when you sit down, have a cup of tea, right? Another thing I always carry in all 3 bags is paracord. 5-6 metres of paracord. I can make a shelter, I can use it for rescuing somebody, I can use it for all sorts of things. I can find uses for that all day long, every day, twice on a Sunday. Paracord. That's probably got about £1,000 breaking strain. You'd be astonished what I can do with that. It's also very good in your vehicle. If something falls off, an exhaust or something, you can tie it up with. It's brilliant kit, because in your top pouch it's always handy. So that's a wee kind of long day, right? That's slightly bigger than your day sack, but the kit's relatively the same, right? Relatively the same. When you come inside, you have dry bags, okay? If you go and set up a tent, the last thing you want to do is put wet kit on. So in the dry bags, you've got a warm hoodie, right? There's a Rab hoodie. It's thin, it's lightweight, it dries very quickly and it's very warm. That's a good bit of kit. These are a Decathlon branded long john type trouser, an under trouser. They're super warm. Wear them in your sleeping bag, they'll keep you warm all night. Okay, can't fault them. And a spare pair of merino wool, smart wool socks. Right, they're fairly pricey, 18 quid a pair. They'll last for years. I can wear them for a week and there'll be no foot smell, because they're merino. They're fantastic bits of kit, guys, and they go in all 3 packs. If I go through a river and my feet are saturated, there's nothing wrong with rinsing out your wet ones, putting your dry ones on, giving your boots a good dry out and cracking on. Everything gets waterproofed with these ultra light Amazon available dry bags. And when you fold that over 3 or 4 times, squish the air out it, right? Fold it over, roll it down and tighten that up. Water's not getting in there. Dead simple. Now this is the middle-sized backpack, remember. So we're talking about maybe doing a 3,000 foot climb, a Monroe. We're talking about a 10-hour day. So we're talking about kit that we might be carrying, 25, 30 pounds a kit. Another waterproof bag, a down jacket, okay, slightly upgraded or the same as the single day pack. It could be the same jacket in all 3 bags. You just take it from that and you put it in 1, 2 and 3, blue to blue. Blue bag, I know that's my blue down jacket. Colour coordination, or take a black marker on it and write it on it. Okay, that's the farmer away by waving, nice guy. And that's a North Face Summit series. These are a £300 item. They're out of the reach of a lot of people, but if you want to buy only one jacket for many years, that'd be the jacket you buy. Again, that item is for when you're at the summit, and if your layers are soaking, whip them off. Literally strip and get a warm hoodie on and put that over the top of it. But over the top of that, put your waterproof. If you're sitting still and you're not exerting sweat, get your waterproof over the top. Do not let that get wet under any circumstances. Keep it dry. When you go to move off again, don't be tempted because you're warm and cosy to move away with that. You will rapidly start sweating, and then if you stop again, that sweat will rapidly turn cold and you'll rapidly develop hypothermic issues. Down jacket. You take it off, it goes back in your dry bag. This is admin, personal admin. It can be uncomfortable, but it's got to be done. Okay, your warm hoodie comes back off. You throw back on your damp t-shirt and your damp top, whatever you're travelling in, and you go again, because it can only get wet once, guys. Why get all your kit wet? You only want to be wet one time only you want to be wet. Okay, it gets wrapped back up exactly the same way it came out, and it gets sealed watertight. Should you fall in a river, your kit is bone dry when you get out the other end. And because there's some air in these bags, your backpack will help float you. Okay, that's another story. That gets crushed down into the back, into the pack, and that's good. Then down the bottom here, you've got another dry bag. They weigh nothing and they cost nothing. If you buy branded ones like Summit Series, you'll pay for them. I think I get 10 of these on Amazon for 15 quid. Literally, they're peanuts. And they're brilliant, they're really, really strong and they're really well made. Now this is a super warm bit of kit. I think I got it out of Primark, it was 14 quid. It's ultra warm. It doesn't pack the smallest, but I use it constantly. And it is a really warm bit of kit, especially for inside the tent. Great bit of kit. And it's just something else that would probably not be in maybe the first day sack, the small half day, but your second 2 sizes of pack you would carry. Something very warm for night time in the tent. Something comfortable, something slightly oversized so you can have a few layers under it, so you can move, so you can put your arms in and all that kind of stuff. Something kind of slightly oversized is a good shout. And that's kind of the middle pack, guys. You know, it's not much more than that really. I'm just going to quickly show you my stove. So that's a fire maple, okay, and it folds over. The gas can's inside, dead simple. Little stove in the bottom. Everything packs down and packs away nicely. And super simple bit of kit. Heat 2 litres of water in a matter of a couple of minutes. And this here, guys, is very similar. Okay, I'm going to show you it. Again, it's a fire maple product. And it's super small. And it weighs 0.3 of a pound. Sorry, it's Forclaz, it's Decathlon's. Okay, so you just open it out like that. You unfold this. You screw the gas can on. Open it up, spark it, pot on top, and you're cooking with gas. Excuse the pun. 20 quid. Can go in a pocket. Now if you can't carry something like that in a little pot and be heating water, see when you get to the end of a long trek, a hot drink is fantastic. It's so good for you. So that costs nothing, it weighs nothing, and there's no excuse for not having it. Simple. Now, when we talk about longer trips, guys, okay, on top of your middle-sized pack you'll have some food. Again, flapjacks, maybe a couple of bags of food, a boil in a bag of rice, and some tins or something, you know, to throw through it. Dead simple, dead basic. Everything then that's waste goes inside your tin. You crush it down, stick it in the pack, take it home with you. Super simple, super easy. This leads us on to the main pack, which would be like 2 days, you know, upwards. If I'm going a long trek and I'm overnighting and I'm tenting for a couple of nights, or if I'm summit camping, this is the proper kit now. Now we're getting to investment. So I'm just going to move this camera up a wee bit because it's ever so slightly on the low side. Not that I'm sick, I'm certainly not. So this one, guys, is a serious bit of kit. Okay, this is an Osprey. It's a 70 litre Aether Pro. It's an ultra light backpack. They're over 300 quid. It's got the airspace back frame. It's got multiple adjustment. It's got a huge hood which can be extended up the way. It carries your life, and it's an extremely comfortable, extremely well designed pack. It's one of the best I've ever used. It's an awful lot of money, but if you're doing it at a level which is extreme, and you're doing it every week of the year like I am, it's justified. If I could do 20 miles in a day carrying 60, 70, 80 pounds of kit, I have to be comfortable, and you have to have the adjustment. You have to have the good hip structure, and it's all there. You can see the frame, right? Everything in this pack is designed around extreme environments. This is a medium size. You get a slightly longer back version. It's an amazing bit of kit. It takes a camel back, little H2O button. It takes a camel back down in there so the strap comes out. It's just very, very well thought out, guys. And as I say, it is an investment, but you'll only buy it one time in your life. And if little cheap day sacks and a little march is your thing, brilliant, get out and get it done. If extreme, prolonged, you know, journeys into the mountains, carrying everything that you need to sustain yourself for 5, 7, 10 days, you're going to need to move up in the world, and you're going to need to have the correct equipment to justify what it is that you're doing and complement what it is you're doing. Because if you're marching and your bag's all over the place, or it's ill conceived, or it's ill thought out, or it's poorly manufactured, you're going to lose buckles, things are going to break. It's a disaster. It doesn't work. I've always been an advocate of buy once, never buy again. Buy it right, you'll never go back. And if you have to save for it, do so instead of buying cheap twice. Just don't. It's just bad advice. Again, so a lot of the items from pack 1 and pack 2 go into pack 3. Your warm kit. Hi Stephen. Your warm kit, your dry kit. Standard. You will notice that we've got a cheap roll mat. That's the ground layer in the tent. It basically just keeps, you put your thermarest on top of that. It might stop a little stone or a little sharp piece of heather coming through the base of the tent and piercing your thermarest. You know, a thermarest is a blow up bed that keeps you warm, and it could be upwards of £100. There's a little tent on the side there, a little Force 10 helium strapped on, and on this side something would be there to counteract the balance so that I'm not pulling, because the last thing you want to do is strain yourself. The pack's got to, there's a knack to packing, especially when you get to this. So I can blindfold myself now, and I can take things out and tell you what they are off the bat, okay? Now I know straight off the bat in the top, the first thing that you need is your warm kit, right? Mountain equipment jacket, okay? So it's there. Then if I'm getting ready to pitch up, there's my little blow up cheap thermarest. It's not a thermarest, it's a cheap one, 20 odd quid, 30 quid. It works, it's cheap and it works. Okay, dry bags again, guys. Always waterproof trousers, okay? They're just offset down from the top hood so that I know I go down the left side and my hand lands on top of these. If it's torrential, I'm actually okay with wet legs, but in the really cold months it's not a good idea, it's not good practice. However, if I'm marching on a long bearing, I'll be marching with wet legs. A dry upper body but wet legs. Keep them dry. It sounds bizarre, but use them sparingly and use them for extremes of weather, and they go back in the kit bag. Again, there's another secondary one of these. It's a little kind of half merino base layer from Decathlon, 18 quid or something. Amazing little bit of kit, guys. It wicks your sweat away, stops you smelling, it just wicks all the sweat off your body. They're really cheap, and you can wear them for 4 and 5 days and they don't smell. And that might sound minging, but when you're out there, that's what you have to do. You don't have a washing machine handy. Again, keep it dry and it'll look after you. And know what's in these bags. Right, blue, pink, yellow, know what's in them. Or get busy with the permanent pen. This is a little Jetboil spoon. It's a little folder. It weighs nothing. right? You can cook with it, bits and bobs. They're good as well. They've got a use. I've got the knife and the spatula as well. I use the spatula nearly every day in my pan with my eggs. I use it literally every day. It's a great wee thing. And the contour of it's exactly the same as my frying pan, which is good. So that's something to bear in mind, guys. You'll also notice here that in the roll mat, there's another titanium spoon. Make sure it's wedged. I've got my little pouch, right, for this bad boy. It's a little tribble. It's Canadian. It's from a company called Coghlan's. I think they're about £5. They're literally indestructible plastic, and it's for digging for doing a toilet. You do the toilet well away from a watercourse. But if I'm going out on an expedition overnighter, that's with me always. I use it for a lot of things, but mainly it's for digging holes deep enough down that it will never be seen again, and it will be broken up naturally by nature. It just means that you're not leaving mess everywhere, guys, for other people to stumble on. It's not a particularly nice thing to walk into when you're out in the wild. So be considerate of others. That's what that's for. And I've always got it. Now in the big pack, the expedition pack, again, everything's in sacks, guys. Again, more Smart Wool socks, right? A t-shirt, just a comfy t-shirt for inside the tent, underneath your warm kit, and a face towel. There's all sorts of good quality face towels. The Decathlon ones that are cheap as anything, literally wick water from you. They're so lightweight, they dry so quickly, and they're fantastic quality. They're all sorts of bright colours, so you won't lose it, and if you do lose it, you've lost a fiver. So, boxer shorts, everything's in there, guys, at the base of the pack, because it's not something that's coming out all the time. So that's down the bottom, okay? That's down the bottom because it's not in and out. I don't need to get to it. I might not need to go to it for 2 whole days. So get it down the base, out the way. Line the bottom of the pack with it because it's soft. On top of that, put slightly harder stuff. Keep the weight to the bottom of the pack and disperse it openly across your hips. That's important, guys. So that's the kind of main items, right? I've got my little lightweight tent. You know, it's under 2 kilos. I'm good to go. I've got my side pouches here. Now, if I don't want to blow that bed up, this little item here with the fitments in the bag, it weighs nothing. It's USB charged and it'll blow that up in seconds. I can blow it up in 25 seconds, but if you're up and down constantly over a week, that little thing will give you 4 or 5 charges. It's USB charged. You can charge a phone from it as well. It's not necessary. Take it or leave it. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. I just thought I'd show you it. They're dirt cheap. In your side pouches, because they'll be sitting handy, something to, right? A cream egg. How do you eat yours? Some salt, some sugar, a couple of jams for my porridge, blackcurrant always, sun cream for my fair complexion, and a lighter. Okay, that's important, guys. If you've got side pouches, guys, use them. A battery and a cable for charging your phone while you march. It'll all go in the side pouch. Make sure these are charged. Get a decent one. You'll get 4 or 5 full charges out of it. You can even get them with a solar panel on them and sit them out while you're stopping and just absorb some energy. Also, from the small day pack to the medium to the big expedition pack, gel sachets. I don't go anywhere without them, guys. A quick shot of energy, keep me going for 45 minutes to an hour, then have another one. When I'm exerting myself or I'm on a big steep climb, these things have saved my life so many times. They really have. That's like not even an exaggeration. A little bit of chocolate, just because, and you know, some sweets, some boiled sweets like Jakeman's, honeycomb or cherry, that open up your nasal cavity and help me breathe. I've got a problem with my nose, and these guys really help me breathe, so they're handy and they're there. And that's the main pack, guys. And I'm going to quickly just throw some stuff inside in order to kind of show you the kind of set way to really put this pack on and stuff. There is a method to all of this, right? So your heavy items to the bottom, your every second or third day items down low. Fill every gap, get down on top of it and push it down into the pack. Fill every corner of the pack. Don't leave space, don't have lightweight stuff up one side and a big heavy thing like a tent on the other. Okay? And see straps, guys, see these straps? Make sure you tighten them up. That's what they're for. Okay? What you're effectively doing is you're waterproofing your kit. Because if the rain's coming down heavy, you don't want your straps open. You don't want water gushing into your pack. That's not practical. It's not practical at all. It's actually really, really stupid. Because all your kit's going to be soaking. And if you're out for another 4 days, why be miserable? How are you going to dry your kit? You're not going to dry it. Little things like this on your top flak, see that? Fold that over. It'll be full, it'll be well packed. Fold it over, right? Make sure the rain can't go down inside the pack. Side pouches, everything the same. You'll see here the compass. It's right there. Can tuck it away. Tuck it under the strap. Can walk with it like that. Pull it out. Check my bearing. Okay. Again, it's a bigger pack. I could have as much as £100 in it. I've got everything I need. The most of my weight is going to be food. Good quality kit. Lock it up. These ones pull into the middle. They're actually moulded to my hips. You heat them up in hot water and they mould better to your hips. Right? Okay. Pulling the straps over, making sure that, look, see it, curving over my back. It's important to get it right. Pull it over, don't have any straps, don't have any, right? Means if I'm climbing, it's right on top of me, it's not pulling me back the way like that. Whoa, that's what you don't want. Some of these inclines going up these mountains is like this, guys. You're scrambling effectively. Grade 1, grade 2 scrambles, you're on all fours. The last thing you want to worry about is having an offset centre of gravity and a pack pulling you over. It's dangerous. And it's really dangerous when you're at elevation. So don't fall into the trap. Set yourself up correctly. Have everything handy. Camelback, have water handy so you don't need to keep stopping. Your pack could be on you for 4 or 5 hours at a time without break. Have everything adjusted. T-shirt, base layer is all you need to be marching on, even in torrential rain. You're going to be warm anyway. A hat, maybe a pair of mitts, but you're going to be warm, guys. You don't need lots of layers, don't do it. You'll go down with heat exhaustion and dehydration. Adjust everything, there's no movement, right? No movement at all. I'm ready to go now. Listen. Right? Doesn't matter what way I turn, what I do. That pack is stuck to me like glue. I'm like a ninja turtle. It's like my shell, it's on me. And it's not going anywhere. And I can carry an extreme amount of weight with that. And also make sure that the pack's strapped. If you need to add on little additional Sea to Summit straps, make sure everything's on tight. Your roll mat's not going to fall out. Your tent's not going to fall off. Don't have ridiculous things happening when you're marching or when you're climbing. You don't want to be losing kit and having to stop, take it all off on the side of a mountain, putting it all back together again. Get it right and practice. And then you'll be able to do it in the dark and you'll know what's going on. This is at the extreme end of the spectrum, remember, guys, but it's all the same thing. Now, one of my pet hates is this. See here? Zip. Closed. Right? Everything closed, guys, all the time. Now, I'm going to quickly take this pack off and I'm going to show you something. I want to see who notices. Right. Look, what do you see here? This is deliberate. You see my pocket hanging inside out, right? That's because if you take something out, everything else comes out with it. If you're walking around like that, you're going to lose anything you've got. So as soon as you take a compass out, or a button compass, or a phone, or anything else for that matter, zip back over again. Side zips, up. Thigh zips, closed, right? All the time. Zips up all the time, constantly. Everything closed, no webbing pouches open, no top cover open, no buckles undone, no buckles flapping around, whipping you in the face. Everything tucked away, a place for everything and everything in its place. That's important. Get the basics right and you'll have a great enjoyable day. Because if you're walking and a pack sliding around, or a strap slipping, or something keeps falling off, your frustration is going to take energy away from you. It's going to take your eye off the ball, and instead of looking at where you should be going and concentrating on your compass, your whereabouts, the weather, your elevation, what's happening around about you, you're thinking about what's going to whip you in the face next. And all of a sudden you've got problems. Because when your concentration, when you're on the side of a rock face or a ridge line, and there's a 600 feet drop in your right hand side, if you're worried about what have I just dropped, you're not looking where your next step is. And that's when people lose their lives. So avoid that like the plague. Carry what you need to carry. Get used to carrying a couple of little extras. Mainly warm kit and food. That's what's going to sustain you and that's what's going to get you home again. That's what's going to make your day enjoyable. Never go under-prepared, guys. Never go with just enough food so that you've ate something. You want to actually benefit from it. You want to have a good feeling. You want to have reserves of energy. So carry it. Carry the kit. Now, something people talk a lot about, and it's the great debate. That's a 2 litre bottle, right? When it's full, it probably weighs 3 or 4 pounds, right, in weight. It's quite a lot of weight. Now, if you're going out for a 4-hour jaunt, you don't need that. If you're going up high in the Western Highlands or anywhere in Scotland that's at altitude, you don't need a bottle that size. Take a little plastic one and fill it out a stream, especially all through the cold months when the water's freezing cold and it's crystal clear. Why would you carry that? If you want to carry it, and it's personal, you carry it. I get very thirsty. I'm 14.5 stone and I can drink fluids and I can eat. I would never carry a bottle that size. I just wouldn't do it. Because I drink from all over Scotland and I know exactly what I'm looking at. And I know exactly what to drink. And you're never far from water in Scotland. You're not. Carry a little bottle, drink, 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 fill it up again and go. As soon as you see the next one, drink, 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 fill it up and go. That's what I do all the way up and all the way down. This is madness, guys. I've seen people with 2 of them. I've seen people with 3 of them. No. But it's a personal choice. This is my channel. This is my way. If you want to carry it and you feel safer with it, absolutely take it with you. I'm used to doing what I do and I'm used to situations, so I know myself. If you feel better with it, have it with you. It's a personal choice, guys. That's all I'll say about water. Still on the subject of the big pack in the winter months, you could have a helmet strapped to it for climbing in case a rock hits you in the head. You could have a set of crampons. Not everyone, in fact 95% of you are never going to ever in their life wear a pair of crampons. Crampons are spiky metal adjustable fitments that attach to your winter boots. These are walking crampons. You get ice climbing crampons that have got a different style of toe. A toe that points directly into the ice. So I won't go on too much about crampons, guys. In the snow, going up Ben Nevis, crampons are a necessity, as is an ice axe. If you don't know about them and you've never used them, don't go up. End of story. That's a cheap scarf. It's a merino wool scarf. Mountain equipment or something. Mountain hardware, sorry. And it goes round your neck. They're brilliant bits of kit, and it's just a buffer. I prefer a scarf to one of these snoods because I've got a neck like Mike Tyson and those snoods are all too tight for me. So I wear that. I've got a purple one, I've got a green one. Don't know why. Cheap mitts. Loop. Put your hand through so you don't lose it. Then your hand goes inside the mitt. And the reason I wear mitts over gloves is because I can still hold my sticks, walk and all the rest of it, but my fingers are touching each other, so I've got slightly poor circulation in my hands. So when my hands are touching, they heat up a lot faster than they would in individually fingered gloves. That's the only reason I wear mitts. These would be in all 3 packs in the cold months. Goes without saying. Keep your hands warm. Now, they're my cold weather boots, Salwas. They're top quality boots and they take a cramp on. Now that the weather's breaking, I'm going to start getting into my lightweight kind of 2-3 season boots. They're a kind of 3-4 season boot. They are a 4 season boot, they're a year round boot and they're kind of shanked and they're pretty heavy and they're pretty hardcore. It's getting to the weather now where I don't need them. I'll go to a lightweight boot or a 3/4 kind of approach shoe for most of my stuff now. You might see these guys and a lot of people wonder what they are. They're walking poles. They're a £5 each from Decathlon. They're brilliant. You can pay £100 each for them if you want carbon fibre. They're aluminium, they're adjustable, they weigh nothing. And what you can do with them is you can turn them upside down, sit them in the ground, put a tarpaulin over them and make yourself a shelter. They're brilliant bits of kit and I swear by them. And they're dirt cheap. If I lose them or I leave them against a rock and walk away, I'm not going to cry over a tenner for 2 poles. I can't fault them, guys. You'll get the toffs saying, they want carbon fibre or they want branded ones. Why? I buy a couple of sets at a time. I've gave people sets. Here, try them. I've just gave them. They're brilliant. Fully adjustable. And on the why I've mentioned these is because they go with all 3 packs. They go with your 4-hour walk, they go with your week-long walk. And some people think that the little lanyard is for decoration. Put your hand through, pull down and grab the pole. That's your walking position. Okay? You've got adjustment there, right? Hold that pole like that and see when you're walking downward, use the poles like this. Fully extend them when you're walking downward. If you're traversing, have a pole short for the inside and have a long pole for the outside on the traverse. Similarly, they're going the other way as well. You would do that. Short pole, long pole. On the way up, shorten the poles. On the way down, fully lengthen them. Brilliant bits of kit. I never used to use them. Now I absolutely swear by them. You will never see me on a mountain without walking poles. You just won't. They're brilliant for balance, guys, and they're literally like 4 points of contact. You've got your feet in the ground, you've got your walking poles, and they're good for your upper body. They give you a sense of almost suction, you know, 4 points of contact. Great things, dirt cheap. Buy them. Spend, I think they're £5.99 each. Spend 10-12 quid. Buy them. If you don't like them, throw them in the cupboard. What have you lost? Some people carry knives, guys. Again, it's an item that would go in pack 1 to pack 3. Even in a short day, you might use a bladed item. This is a SOG. This is a SOG multi-tool. It's got pliers. It's got wire cutters, it's got fixed blades, it's got a file, it's got a tin opener, it's got a screwdriver, it's got a hook for ripping fish open or pulling it flesh. It's got everything I need to survive. Leatherman, Wave, Gerber, that's a SOG power lock. I've had it for a lot of years, an awful long time. It's a great bit of kit. They're bomb proof. I would say they're ever so slightly cumbersome or heavy, but it's got a place, guys, and you're not going to get any trouble for carrying that in a pouch. Okay, out in the mountains. If you've got it open with the blade out in a pub, that takes a bit of explaining to do. Perfectly legitimate reason for having it. Great bit of kit. If I'm going for an expedition, guys, I'm going to carry this. It's a Lidl's or an Aldi branded Florabest. I think I've had it for about 15 or 20 years. And it's a folding saw. Make a shelter, get under it, get some shelter. Doesn't weigh anything. Great bit of kit. Perfectly safe to use. Down a side pooch. I wouldn't take it out for a day, I wouldn't take it out for 2 days. Going somewhere for a week, I'd probably take it with me. It's not a necessity, it's a nice to have. And it's something I like messing about with. Does anybody know what this is? So, it's one of these little things where, do you have it or do you not? I like to have it, but I like to have it more so for educational purposes. Just do that with it. Right, it's a flint stick, look. See the sparks coming off it? Obviously it's daylight here, but that's what that does, guys. It's a flint stick. It's basically for lighting fire. And if you know how to light fire, and you know about tinder, and you know what to, tinder dry stuff, and you know exactly what burns quick and what responds to that, you can light a fire in a cave, you can light a fire anywhere with that, even in the wet, even in the damp. That won't let you down. It was peanuts off Amazon. You get better quality ones. Sorry, that's Decathlon. It's maybe £4 or something. And it's just a piece of flint, and you just make sparks. Carry it or don't carry it. Carry a lighter, carry waterproof matches. It's horses for courses. A kit list is subjective, guys. There is no set standard. It's what you want to take. I hedge on the side of caution, so I overcarry. And I fill my pack, and if I've got an empty pouch, I ask myself why. I'll either load it up with food, or I'll put something else in it that I know I'm going to use. Could be more warm kit, could be spare socks. I won't have empty space in my pack. If my pack's half empty, I've got the wrong size of pack on. I should have scaled down to the middle size pack or the lightweight pack. Why am I going out with a half empty pack? Makes no sense. Last but not least, if you're in a tent and you're going for a period of time, take some wipes with you. I use wipes for wiping myself, for cleaning myself, my groin, my neck, my ears, my armpits, right? Between my feet. I keep myself clean with wipes. And I use those wipes to clean my pots and my pans, or I use moss. I try and go sparingly with the wipes. The wipes I use go into a little dirty bag and go home with me because they don't break down. Okay, I'll never leave wipes in the wild. I hate seeing them lying around. It's not nice. That's a map reading right. It's very, very bright. And it's a great item of kit. You can clip it on there. And just, failing that, I've always got a head torch on, which I've told you about many times. From pack 1 to pack 3, the head torch goes everywhere. If you're going out for a half a day, take the head torch with you, guys. Twist your ankle, you could be walking back in the dark. Your mate twists their ankle, you meet somebody that's injured, give them the head torch. They're £5 each out of Decathlon. I buy 4 at a time because I give them away. There's a cheap Decathlon light. hangs up in the tent, hangs up anywhere you are, in a little cave, in a bivouac, in a shelter at the side of a tree. It sits there, people can see what they're doing, you can cook round about it. It's cheap and cheerful if you lose it, which you shouldn't. And a couple of these guys, 8-hour candles. 2 of them in a little metal pot inside your tent will keep you warm. They won't turn it into a sauna, but they'll keep the edge off the cold. They'll give you natural light. And the fact that there's a naked flame near you is a psychological thing. It will say, oh, I've got warmth, I've got flame. A flame is something that lets you think you're safe. It lets you think that you're close to a better scenario or a better situation. It does give you warmth, it's psychological. There you go. And that's a fact. Try it. We spoke about stoves, guys, okay? They're super simple things. I've actually got 2 of these. Gas canister on. It's called a tower stove because when it sets up it's quite tall. It's got a little triangular frame at the bottom. It all comes apart. Gas can goes in there. That'll heat your water. Throw your boiling the bag rice in it. Throw something through your rice. Get it down you. Remember, when you're out in these situations, it's not about 3-course meals. It's about getting carbohydrate and warm food into your system as quick as possible. That's the best way to do it. Fire maple. Or you can pay double the price and buy a jet boil at 130 or 140 quid. They're about 60 quid. That'll last you for a lifetime if you look after it. No excuse. So, guys, flapjacks, gel sashes, coffee. Kit is subjective. People keep saying to me, going to send me a kit list. I'm happy to send you a kit list. Tell me what it is you're doing. Waterproof outer jacket. Warm underlayer. A hat. A head torch. Something to eat. Something to drink. A form of energy, be it a cycling gel sachet or a Mars bar. If you're going out and up, a map and a compass, or know your route. Don't get lost on a tourist path. Don't start deviating off mountains and through forests if you don't know where you're going. Kit's subjective, guys. Make your day enjoyable. Make your kit reflect what you're going to be doing. Don't take a 6-man tent when you're yourself. Don't take 4 jackets and 3 pairs of trainers. Make your kit reflect what it is you're going to be doing and don't deviate from it. And if you go out for a singular overnighter, don't only take enough to barely stretch you to midnight, because you've still got to eat for breakfast and you've still got to extract and go home. And if you've walked 7 or 8 kilometres or 13 kilometres, you're going to need something energy based to get you there. You're going to have to fuel your journey. So get used to slightly over carrying. Throw in a little bit of extra weight. By all means, get used to it. Set your pack up correctly. Be reasonable with what you expect from a pack. Don't spend 30 quid and expect it to get you up Mount Everest. It's not going to happen. If you buy a £20 sleeping bag from B&M, expect to freeze on the side of Ben McDoo in November. Expect to freeze like a brass monkey. It's horses for courses, guys. As I say, kit's subjective. It is what it is. You can buy everything you need for 100 quid, 150 quid, literally everything you need, and it'll get you by on those little short days and maybe a little summer overnighter. But if you're going to do the winter stuff, you're going to need quality kit. You're going to need a down sleeping bag or a proper synthetic, you know, 200 quid upwards, thereabouts, RAB, mountain equipment, Western Mountaineering, one of the good brands, something that is designed round about you, made round about you, fits. You don't want flat spots, you don't want cold spots. You have to know what you're doing with these bags, guys. If in doubt about down, buy synthetic. It's easier managed, it's easier looked after. Down takes maintenance, but it will last 20 years. If you don't know what about down jackets, buy a synthetic jacket, but buy something that's going to keep you warm, guys. If you don't know about brands, ask me and I'll tell you. And I won't advise you to go and spend £1,000 when I can send you to Decathlon or the other one, what's the other one called? Go Outdoors, and you can get a decent jacket and some warm kit. Just don't go crazy. If you want to get into this, hit me up. We've spoke here now about kit, but it's a lifetime of learning. It's a lifetime of trial and error. I'm not new to this, guys. Nothing about this is new to me. Nothing's going to jump out and bite me in the bum that I didn't expect or that I'm not prepared for. Preparation is the key to success. I prepare for the worst event. When I get up in the morning, I expect the worst. Anything better than the worst's a bonus. So I'm always prepared. My kit's prepared. I'm prepared. My fitness is prepared for any event. I don't want to get caught out by being unfit, not having the right footwear, not having the right outerwear, not having the right food supply, not having the right pack, being all over the place, bits falling off, bits hanging off. Every single thing I do is to complement my experience. I want to enjoy myself when I go out. It's very physically exerting. It's very tiring. I don't want to go to these places and then have to sit freezing all night or sit starving all night or not have the energy to down kit in the morning and get home. Why would you do that? That's madness. If you're going to even think like that, or you're going to try and get out somewhere 20 kilometres out into the, out into Glen Affric, what you think a gamekeeper's going to turn up in a quad and bring you a hot dinner? It's not going to happen, guys. And you don't just hit the button on your phone and a helicopter lands, because there could be 4 people more critically deserving than you. So that chopper might have to come from Prestwick to 4 locations. It might get to you, but it might take 18 hours. You might have to sit it out in your tent. So be comfortable, be warm, be fed, be watered. Have tea and coffee, have a stove. See if you can't carry the kit, and I don't want to sound abrasive, see if you can't carry the kit and you can't shoulder the pack, don't go out there. Go and walk round a park for weeks or months until you build a level of fitness. Carry something small, tin of beans, wrap it in a blanket. Start small and build up. Don't rush into this. Don't rush into this, guys, because it could be fatal. I've not been concentrating in the comments, guys, because I'm too far away from the screen. But I just seen Minto there asking about why I don't check the weather forecasts. I've said it many times. He's obviously clearly picked up on this. The reason I don't is because, as I said before, I carry for all eventualities, and I believe I've got a level of, not expertise, because I don't really believe that you get true expertise in this field, because there are so many variables. You can become very efficient, and you can become very, very practical, and you can become really, really good at it. But expertise is a funny word. The reason I don't bother too much about the weather forecasts is because I know exactly where I'm going. I know approximately how long it's going to take. And if it's an extreme time of the year, I'll let somebody know, and I'll leave something at my base camp to tell you when I should be back. I like the weather, guys. I like inclement weather. You could say I'm a storm chaser. I like putting myself out on a limb, and I like putting my neck in the block, and I like being exposed, because I like to be close to danger. I like to be to be tested, and I like to be close to the elements. I love, you know, man against beast. I love the theoretic side of it, where I'm out there and it is pretty grim, but I can beat that storm. I can get through the night. I can pitch in a place and I can outwit the weather, or I can outwit the storm. It's a bit of a game I play, and yeah, one day I might bite off more than I can chew, but we're living. That's what we do. So I don't advocate that anyone else doesn't check the weather. It's a personal thing, but because I'm honest, I'm telling you that. I don't check the weather. I don't even have a weather forecast app in my phone. I tried to download one, I couldn't understand it, so. See, if I get caught out, you'll all get a laugh at my expense. I don't check the weather. I go and I find out when I get there. And if I'm underprepared, I will abort and head back. Or if I'm caught out, then it will be a very valuable lesson. I also find weather forecasts extremely inaccurate. A good place to go is like Inverness Airport and stuff. They've got a site, and if you really want to go and look, they seem to be really good at it. But like on news channels, their forecasts are crap, guys, because from the coast in Wester Ross to the inner Northwest Highlands or Torridon, the weather can be dramatic over 20 miles. The change can be incredible over 20 miles. Same with the West Coast. From the Campsies to the East Coast, but you know, bits of Scotland are 50 mile coast to coast. They can be getting 15 degrees, bright sunshine. We can get 7 degrees in snow and hail. So I don't look at it. I really don't. I pay lip service to it and I go and find out. There's no such thing as bad weather. There's only bad kit and bad preparation. And that's my answer to that. You do what you feel's right, and you do what you feel safe. Some people are extreme, and some people are fulfilled by comfort. I've got no interest in comfort. I've got an interest in testing myself psychologically and physically. I want to know what's out there, and I want to know what's in here. I'm interested in seeing what I've still got. You know, I'm 25 years older than when I stepped on that journey, and I want to know which version of myself this is. Am I still capable of performing at a extremely high testing level? There's only one way for me to find out, and it's to go. So, kit lists, day packs, medium-sized packs, bigger packs. It's whatever you want it to be. Food, water, don't get caught out having no food or water, guys. You'll meet people in Ben Lomond in July with a glass bottle iron brew in a Tesco bag. No sun cream, no hat, nothing, and then it can turn torrential or the wind can get up. But worse than that, they've used a lot of energy getting up there and they've got no food, they've got no way of getting back down, and they're just in bits. And everybody thinks because it's in the Trossachs tourist route that it's safe. It's horses for courses. I always overcarry because I don't want to be caught out, okay? Right, let me see some of the comments now quickly before I go. And I'll do my best. Somebody asking if I'm at the old farm. I don't know. I'm not at a farm. Minto, Mountain Rescue, biggest complaint was hill walkers not checking the weather. Correct. I know guys in the mountain mountain rescue, but who they're talking about, Minto, is completely inexperienced novices. That's not me. I practically live out in these mountains. I'm used to it. It's second nature to me. It's the environment that I live and breathe in almost every day. So, and mountain rescue would get me on that, and they would know exactly what I mean by that. They're talking about rank novices that one day a year decide, Mon will go and climb a mountain, and they go and duke up Ben Nevis in February with a pair of Nike Air Max on. It's only going to end one way. Yep, the Munros do have their own microclimate. Sean Batty getting a mention there. Who else have we got? The Human Barometer, yep. Charlie the 7Ps. I'd love to go to Alaska. So I would. Charlie Fleeton, how you doing? So, thanks Drew. So, what I say about kit, guys, about it being subjective, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. You will only know when you've slipped up when you get caught out. So if you've covered every eventuality and you're slightly over prepared and you've got a slight over carry and you've got extra food and you maybe got home and you've got a few Mars bars left, you're good to go. You can handle the burden, the load, your prep's been right. Don't get somewhere and be caught out. Just don't do it. Don't ever underestimate Scotland. That's what I'm saying. I can handle the weather. I can handle extreme cold. I've slept out overnight in -20, -20 plus. I'm fine with that because I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. And that's with years and years of experience. If you haven't done it, don't do it until you have gathered knowledge and dipped your toes in and speak to people that know what they're doing. And really don't go and do anything crazy like get out in a mountain with the wrong kit. I know what I'm doing, guys, and I'm happy to share that knowledge. Laughing and joking aside, don't be reckless with your safety. I go out there because I know I'm coming back because I want to enjoy myself. Danny Christie, how you doing, buddy? Somebody's asking here about if I was injured. So a basic thing you can do, right, with injury is on your phone. Who do you phone to get mountain rescue? So you've just fell and snapped your ankle, right? You've got bones coming out your shin. You're going into shock. Your temperature's rapidly dropping, and the cold's rapidly getting to you. So you've got all sorts of shocks starting. What do you dial? You go, oh, I need to Google mountain rescue. And then you don't realise that you're in one region or the other, right? Are you in Lochaber? Are you here? Are you there? So you go, oh no, so you get confused. Dial 999. Operator, what service do you require? I require mountain rescue. It's going to ping your phone straight away. I'm in Glen Shee. I'm in Glencoe. I'm in Fort William. I'm in Aviemore. I'm in Torridon. I'm here. I'm there. I'm in Sutherland. I'm in Lairg. Ping. Even if your phone then dies or whatever happens, they've got that GPS coordinate. Dial 999 and ask for mountain rescue and request an immediate evacuation through injury. Don't expect it to come in 10 minutes. Better still, don't get injured. So that's how you deal with that. That's it in a nutshell. Basically, you know what you're doing. You set out knowing what you're doing. I push myself because that's my nature. I want to know what I'm made of still. I'm only in competition with myself. What I do is not affecting anybody else. And I do go out there and I do go into the extreme environments, but I need to. Because if I don't, then I'm not living. That's my makeup. That's who I am. It's not for everybody. Yeah, Cooch Cooch, you're right. Lots of people dying. Again, 99% of them are reckless individuals with no kit. Hate to say it, but that's the black and white of it. The experienced people that do die, it's down to avalanche or a cornice collapsing or a rope being nipped or ice fall. There's always mitigating factors, but it's usually not down to a personal mistake. Highly experienced climbers get killed because kit fails or they're not belayed correctly. That could be down to a person. There's just rock fall. There's so many things. But people walking off cliffs because they don't have a compass or they can't read a map in fog, it's completely avoidable. I hate to say it, but it's true. So, kit lists. If you want to ask me anything, ask me. Go and look in stores. My boy phoning me, the wee bugger. Don't sit on the couch for months then go and expect to crack a mountain, you know, with £30 in your back. Your shoulders are going to ache, everything's going to ache, your lower back, your neck, and you'll get dizzy, you'll get disorientated. So just plan your day around your ability and build your fitness. Build your knowledge and don't rush. There's no rush, guys. The mountains and the hills are going nowhere. So plan everything around your ability and what you want to achieve from it. Okay? Don't do anything that will endanger you, because the fundamentals of what we do are enjoyment. This is to be enjoyed, and that's the bottom line of it. Yeah, Ali, I use poles. I've spoke about them earlier, mate. I use walking poles. If I'm on the mountains, it's an ice axe in the winter. Any questions, I'll try and respond to these. We will go over this again. I might just do little individuals videos for the day pack, for the overnighter and for the long haul stuff, instead of cramming it all in. But don't be scared to ask questions. There's no daft questions, guys. Not everybody's got the knowledge. You know, some of you guys might be doing this for a living. I'll go, how do you do that? I want to know. We can't know everything. It's trial and error. And I'm always trying to push the boundaries of my ability and my knowledge and my fitness and what I can achieve in a day. I know what I'm building up for. I'm building up for doing a major cross-country walk, you know, in the region of 500 miles on foot, and I'm building up for that. So I know where I'm trying to go with this. Any questions, hit me up. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's healthy. If I forgot anything, I'll get back to it. All my videos are off the cuff, nothing scripted, as you know. So I hope it resonated with some of you, and I hope some of you picked up little things. Get the basics right and you'll enjoy yourself. Don't do anything that's going to put your neck in a line. I do it and it's for very personal reasons. That's all I'll say about that. Okay guys, thanks for following, thanks for watching, I really appreciate it as always. Take care and I'll talk to you in a day or two. Thank you very much. Cheers.